Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first episode with one of my very near and dear friends and photographer, published photographer. She's been working so hard at what she loves doing, which is photography, and we got published. So I'm really excited to sit down and first of all say congratulations to us.
Thank
So
you.
we're just going to pop a little bit of Prosecco.
I don't even know why I'm surprised.
So let's chin, because this is what we do in,
Thank you.
Italian culture. I think in other cultures too, but here we go. So,
Congratulations.
Awesome. Are we drinking?
We're drinking.
Yum. Okay, so as you can see here, we have been published in Beautica magazine for the open theme for September 2023, and we, Gale and I actually did a behind the scenes live to take these photographs.
On TikTok.
On TikTok, yeah. And for me, it was really a pivotal moment in kind of showing all of the internal and external work that I've been doing throughout the years. And Gale has been actually taking pictures of me for 5 years now. It's 5 years?
I think so. It was before COVID.
It was before COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
So my very first headshot is actually on the back of my book called Freeing the Butterfly. And if you look at that headshot, it does not even look like me.
That was like, I think you contacted me and you wanted some photos for that book.
Yes.
And then that's how, I'm pretty sure that's how we met. And then the rest of history, because since then we've been working together.
Yeah.
On projects or even just for some branding photos and things like that. So it's been really good.
Yeah. So I didn't even actually introduce you. This is Gale D'Souza from Photographic Touch. She is a beautiful woman, friend. She's so supportive. She is amazing at connecting people, but her passion is photography. And if you look at any of Gale's work, you know that she just goes full-fledged in very dramatic work, but she works with mature models, mostly women. And maybe you can just tell us a little bit about the starting of your photography journey. Because I feel like I met you kind of in the process of starting.
I think it was like a building block. So basically, I used to do go to a lot of family events doing photography. And I did a lot of wildlife photography. I would go to markets and sell my cards or sell prints. Sometimes I would frame the prints and sell them. And if you go to markets, sometimes you can spend a lot of money printing your photos. But depending on the type of market or depending on the time of year, it could be a flop or it could be a successful market. The market life is very difficult. So I like to go to market and support local vendors for that reason, because I've been there. It was really hard. It was very expensive too. Mm-hmm. And then I did a couple weddings. It didn't take long to realize it's probably not what set my soul on fire. And then in 2019, I took a portrait
I remember.
workshop.
Yeah.
Down in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I was sold. I was so taken by how you can spend time with one person and accomplish a really intricate, intimate portrait. I was sold. And since then, I still do a lot of wildlife and landscape. I still love that. Yeah. But most of things that I do now is conceptual style shoot. I'm working towards my becoming a portrait master. At portrait masters, you compete around with people from around the world, and then you have to take your editing and to a totally different level. You have to do conceptual work quite regularly, as you know.
Yeah.
And also being winning some awards and in that field, but also like being published by magazines. It's kind of like the next stepping stone. It's just helping me build like tools on my belt.
Yeah.
So I've been passionate about working with women. I also like working with men, but as you know, like usually it will either be a woman paying for a husband to be photographed. Yep. That's been my experience. I've been working with some musicians. I really like working with them. My father is a musician, so that's why I'm really passionate about music, either listening to music, but also working with them, musicians.
That's awesome. I think too, like, I know a lot of people, or if this is the first time you're watching me, don't know that I've always wanted to model as a young person. I just never thought I was pretty enough or had the confidence to do that. And I think that in a lot of ways, you were able to open my mind to actually being a model and just being able to be mature also and expressing myself. I know that you love to showcase more curvier women. So what do you love about working with regular models and then everyday people that want to be models?
I do work with some amazing models, and it's not always. Sometimes the models, they need work for their portfolios. I love working with them. I've been working with a model in particular in Toronto. She becomes a mentor for other models that comes and be photographed by me. Yeah. I've been working with a beautiful model who's a breast cancer survivor, and I'm helping her build her portfolio. Yeah. And she actually got published for the first time this month as well, which is the next stepping stone as a model. But I liked working with models. It would not be like regular work, and sometimes it has to be conceptual, and there's usually a goal behind the photo shoot. Sometimes they need photos to build a portfolio because they have to be keeping up with the portfolio. Right. I like. Lots of the time when I send my photos for submission for contests, I use just some of my clients because I'm able to achieve their trust. I'm able to achieve a really good kind of a relationship, or we do really well in a photo, and I can tell that the photo is a winner, and I submit it. Yeah, I don't need models to submit to a contest. I can submit anyone. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know if I like one more than another. I think it's two different type of reason why I photograph. Some people, they want branding. Yep. Some people need photos for portfolio. I don't know if I answered your question, or did I just go right?
You did. No, that's fine. That's great.
I like curve, but it's not that I like curve. I'm a curvy woman myself. So it's not that I like curve better. But I just want people, with or without curve, if you're waiting to be perfect to be photographed, it's never going to happen. For sure. If you wait to be rich, if you wait to be slim, if you wait for all the stars in the sky to align, it will never happen. The time is now. Yeah. If you have something to show or something that you want to remember by, be remembered by, or remember yourself, and it could be like, then it's time to take a picture. There's no better time but now. Yeah. There's also no cheaper time but now. Yeah. Because with the inflation and everything, like all the services, they're going up in price and things like that. There's no better time than now.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, you know me, I put 2 feet into everything. If I set a goal, I'm not half in, half out. That's how we got published.
That's how we got published.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the time, we didn't know we would, but
but that's the beautiful part of pivoting.
So people have to understand. We did the photo shoot live on TikTok, and I guess all the stars aligned. The photos were amazing, and you don't need to be in a studio for a photo shoot either. That was just in your living room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was very simple concept in terms of the room. It's just a white wall and a floor, but then you took care of the styling and the makeup.
Yes. Yeah. I think that like everyone needs to know that when something doesn't work out in your favor, or it doesn't you don't quite get the results from something that you did, it's always okay to pivot. So these, like you said, these pictures were not actually made for publication purposes.
No.
I just had a concept. I wanted to put something together. I wanted to show my audience what it takes to go ahead and put a concept together and work with a dynamic individual that knew me very well and just do it. And Gale is like the number one cheerleader for any of my visions. Her and I, we worked well and a long time together, but I think that every time I come to Gale with a concept, she gets me. She knows what we're looking for. And I think that that's really important when you are doing something creative. Do you want to talk about maybe the process of putting a shoot together? Because I can speak to my experience, because I've put together quite a few concepts for us that have won bronze, which silver or gold is our next level. But publication is definitely something that is on my mind now. I feel like once you get published, you feel like you need to do it again.
There's so many magazines out there. You can be published by different magazines.
Yeah.
Some magazine depending on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when Josie comes up with a concept, I let her take care of the makeup and styling.
Yeah.
And then when we have like a bit of an idea of a vision, then we decide if we're going to do it in studio or if we're going to do it at home. And that one was at home. So basically, depending on the idea that she had in mind, I would bring my kit, which is some lighting, my camera and all that. And then I would there's a little bit of improv.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have to like test the light a couple times and make sure. But also on the other side, when I get the pictures at my house, then I decide these ones I knew that I wanted to be a little bit dramatic. The wall was white, but I added something to kind of make it a little bit more interesting and without her having to paint her own wall. So a little bit of work there, but like that's the thing is like the reason the photo shoot turns out the way it is too, I think it's like when you build a really good relationship with your photographer, then the sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
And when I have new client, I always insist on either meeting them or having a chat with them. Yeah. And if someone only wants to text me and not have a phone conversation, I know it's not my client. Yeah. I'm also really picky about the people that I shoot. Yeah. I kind of do that because if someone doesn't take the time to know me and I don't have the opportunity to know them, I know that the picture will not be exactly what I want them to be or what they want them to be.
Right.
How do I know what you want if we don't speak?
Of course.
Yeah, I think the consult is one of the most important part.
Of course.
And you and I do a lot of that. Like when you have an idea, we actually have a really long chat about it.
Yes.
And then we put some ideas together, do a brainstorming, and then we come up with some kind of concept. Yeah. Then I know what gear I need to bring and what my A game is going to have to be. Mm-hmm. And then you bring the perfect makeup, and then you bring the perfect styling, and then we make magic. Yeah. I love making magic.
Yeah, so do I. I would say like going into a concept shoot, it's really, for me, it's like I usually have one item that gives me ideas and inspires me. Yeah. And I take that item and then I build around that. For me, because I'm a makeup artist and I work with energy also, for me, the makeup and the energy of the whole thing needs to come together. They need to intertwine, right? So I'll tell you, for this publication, the end result was not what I started with. I didn't have that corset with the gold and the black. I actually had like an embroidered top, and I had like thigh-high pantyhose that had gems. And I looked at it and I said, I don't like it. So then I just started kind of putting the pieces together. I'm like, okay, the red will go with the gold. That'll pop. And I'm just going to go with whatever leotard I ended up with. And then for the makeup, like, I just looked at what I had and I went for it. I knew I wanted a pop in the eye. I wanted a nice lash. And my hair had to be up, because I had that beautiful collar on. So when I'm coming up with a concept, it's not just me throwing things together.
Mm-hmm.
It's me looking at it, taking pictures of it. Do I like the way it looks? And I'll send it to you and you'll be like, that's not it. Or yes, I really love that. And that's just the beauty of working collaboratively with somebody that you've worked with for a long time and that kind of knows where you're going with the theme or the whole thing.
But this one, it all started with that feather collar that you bought.
Yes.
As soon as you bought that, you were completely in a totally different world in terms of, I want to create something with this, and let's see where it takes us. And it took us to publication.
It did.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to our next one for sure. I already have ideas.
It's hard to. We have to step up our game. I don't know how we're going to do
that.
How are we going to do that? We're going to have to come up with some serious brainstorming soon for that one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting. Yeah, there's so many things that we can do. I like to do concept shoot. Yeah. I like to do concept shoot. As a photographer, if you only work to make money, to buy more gear, if you only work to pay the bills, at some point in time you get lost. You kind of lost your mojo.
Yes.
So I find that the way if I can keep creating, doing some creation that are not necessarily part of making money, paying the bills, then I find that I am able to keep that little bit of edgy side of myself, my little creative side always buzzing and thinking, I have a lot of napkins at home with tons of ideas, tons of things that I want to do.
Yeah.
Hopefully in this lifestyle.
That's a really good point too, because if we kind of dive into the energy realm, our sacral chakra, which is right under our belly button, right? That really helps us to be creative and do the things we love. So when you're feeding that, right, and you're feeding it in a way of, this is what I love to do, as opposed to this is what I have to do to make money, it is such a different energy when you come to the table. And I find that that's where you get more success, is by not focusing on the dollar. And I understand that people are in a position where they have to make a living for themselves and they have to do certain things, and that's okay. But just make sure that you are bringing creativity and joy to yourself in order to get yourself to the next level.
Yeah.
Because it helps you at an energetic level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I often feel a bit selfish when it comes to photography.
Why? Why?
I feel selfish because I have selfish reason. The reason I say that is because I work full time. Photography is something that I do that I'm passionate about, not my full time work. In my full time work, I see some dramatic events, and I always feel that the photography that I do with the really creative edge heals me. And sometimes, and I feel that all the time, it heals me, but it also heals the people that I photo shoot. One time I was doing a photo shoot, and the lady that I had, shot, she told me that she had lost a baby that year, and she found that the photography or taking pictures of her had kind of made her feel like a woman again. Think about how deep that was. How deep that was of a statement from someone who trusted me with her photo, but also to be part of that. I get shivers because I think I've always felt the healing part of photography is what keeps me going. I think it's a bit selfish of me, but I think sometimes you have to do that. It's part of my self-care routine.
Yep.
Something that I started doing through COVID as well is do self-portrait. Self-portraits are healing, but also they help me know my gear better, play with the light, come up with some concept, you know. So that's how I was through COVID. Instead of thinking, in COVID times too, I wasn't able to see clients. So I was photographing my husband, but after a couple of times that was over. My stepson, I took some amazing pictures of him, but he doesn't want to be photographed every day, So I had to take a lot of pictures of myself, working with gear, making sure that the quality was what I wanted it to be. Yeah. So, and that kind of kept me away from, it was kind of a self-care for me through those hard times, because I'm a social person, just like, I like to see people, to talk, and then in those times I wasn't able to do that. Yeah. So using my camera was healing those times as well.
Yeah. I feel like I resonate with that a lot because, as you know, I picked up makeup artistry in COVID time, yeah. And I think that makeup is very healing to me because it was the only thing that I could do for myself every day that made me feel better. And a lot of people had a lot of really hard times during COVID. Depression was at an all-time high. Anxiety was at an all-time high. And for me, I mean, you pushed me to really get my certificate because you could see how transformational makeup was for me and also how much I loved doing it. So that was healing to my soul. And I, just like you, have been doing my craft since COVID, and every single day I am trying new things with makeup, trying new techniques, watching videos, and doing that because I want to be ready to serve my clients when they're ready to do makeup, and I want to be ready to up my own game in my own goal to be published again. So it's not selfish. I wouldn't say it's selfish. I think that is just your self-care, and this is my self-care, and we just happen to provide a service for people when they need that. And we are better because we are always growing, and that's really what makes a difference, right? We have big goals, and we want people to kind of be with us through our journey.
Yeah, no matter what you're passionate about, you should always use your passion as a way to grow emotionally or any other ways. And what you're passionate about, even if it doesn't happen at the first goal, being an entrepreneur, starting a business in photography. It's kind of some people see it as a competitive world. I don't really see it that way, but some people feel that there's some competition, even maybe in makeup artistry, it's the same. But I don't see it that way. I think like everybody who has a passion needs to, try it. Mm-hmm. When you try it and it doesn't happen the first time, if you keep on going, it will happen. Yeah. If you have the mindset for yourself to have some type of success, and it doesn't need to be always monetary, it doesn't need to be really big either,
right?
Like a publication is some type of success. Being an award-winning photographer is some type of success. Does it bring a whole lot of money? I'm not sure about that, but it does bring some type of satisfaction, even if you're the only one who feels it. At least you can do it.
Yeah. I think in terms of my story, this publication is my transformation. This publication it means a lot to me. And like you said, there's no monetary attached to this for me. This is like a 360. This is a full 360. This is seeing Josie go through all of the things and coming out the other end more confident, happy as F. Just being in my own light and not being afraid to shine that, regardless of what anybody else thinks. This is for me, right? So what does a publication mean to you? Like this one here? Like
And this one here is, I really like the work that we did. And I really like that it highlights everything that you're about. I'm there as a witness, as a photographer, but really you did quite a lot of work to get where you are in those photos. You work on your makeup artistry. It's kind of like it culminates to like all the things that you put together culminate to this publication. Was beautiful. And I was there as a witness, and I feel really blessed by that. But it's everything that come together through the years of training that you took, all the time that you've been applying makeup, and that the makeup was impeccable that day. Your styling is always really on par, but here your ideas, you were really, you had something in mind and you really went for it, and it worked really well. So this publication is, for me, I'm really happy about the publication. I'm really proud of the work that we did that day. I'm thinking like we took a simple concept and we made magic. We made it to a publication. I mean, they could have said no, we don't like it, but they loved it. So I'm just thinking like it was like a really, really nice way to kind of, I don't know, put everything that we worked so hard together to like this one moment when the publication came out. I'm really proud of the work that you did, and I really, really enjoy the quality of the magazine as well. I think that they really did a good job.
Yeah. When I opened it up, I was like, this is totally worth the money I spent. It's a beautiful, beautiful. It's very thick. It's a really good publication, and the printing is amazing. Yeah. So
the reason I picked Beautica as well, this magazine, the reason I picked it is because Beautica had an open team. So Beautica is the first time that I get published in this magazine, but they had contacted me if I had any work to submit to them. So I looked at the type of work that they were doing, and I found that what we had created, the picture that we had created, kind of fit the magazine, and it also fit like the team, and it was an open team, so it means that for what the idea that we had like in mind, this magazine was able to kind of showcase that. And I'm just really happy. It kind of worked out perfectly for us, and I think the work that we did is Josie 100%. I just love it.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So maybe one day we'll be able to get the first page.
I think we should make that our goal.
Yeah.
We should make it the goal to get first page. Absolutely. I think we have what it takes.
We definitely have what it takes.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to start in photography, what would your advice be?
Start in photography?
Yeah.
The time is now. What people need to understand about photography, you don't need some amazing gear. You actually, my spare camera is really, really old. It's probably 10 years old. The camera that I use now is probably 5-6 years old. It's not necessarily with the camera, it's the person behind the camera. And you should never ask people, what camera are you using? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're looking at becoming a photographer, start with simple gear, learn your gear, and then go from there. For example, if you want to do portrait, buy gear for portrait. Don't buy just everything that is available in the store. First of all, you'll go broke. And second of all, a lot of that gear will gather dust. So if you want to do landscape, then you have to buy the gear for landscape. There's nothing wrong with taking pictures of landscape. There's beautiful landscape in Ontario. If you want to do people, then pick up the gear for that. But the time is now. People, if you're passionate about photography, there's so many courses out there. I like to mentor people. And that's always an option to hire somebody to mentor you, just to get you going, you know. But the time is now. If you're passionate, it could be photography or anything else.
Yeah.
You know, people need to start now. Don't wait until everything aligns and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. Just start.
Yeah. Pick up a camera and then just go around, take pictures.
Yeah.
Photography is one of those things, like the more you shoot, the better you become. It's just like the way it is.
Yeah. I feel like that's everything. Just practice makes perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You're interested, do a little research. Don't get too crazy about it, but like
start simple like anything else.
Yeah, ask yourself, what is it that I want to get out of this? And go from there. It's a great starting point. So if someone wanted to check out your work or reach out to you to talk about a photo shoot, where can they find you?
I'm really busy on social media.
Okay.
I am on Instagram.
Okay.
I am on LinkedIn. Okay. Do a little bit of Facebook, but and I do also some networking event where people can actually meet me in person.
Yeah.
I believe that I like networking events because then I can meet people, people that like me and trust me. Then if they ask me to take pictures of them, the picture would be 10 times better than just being photographed by a stranger you never met before.
For sure.
So and if people want to see my work, they can always go to www.gale, Gale, D'Souza.com, and then you can see my portfolio.
Yeah. And I will put all the links below so that you can just click and connect with Gale. I would suggest if you are thinking about a photo shoot, you need to reach out to Gale. I mean, I'm a little biased because I work with Gale all the time, but her pictures just tell the story. That's all.
Also, I like to work with and models that want to build their portfolio. If they want to be published, you need to have some professional photos.
Right.
You need to have some professional headshots to submit to modeling agencies. I love to do that type of work as well. I like to work with entrepreneurs. That's why I like to do my networking events, so I can talk business with people, and when people tell their story about their business, I love that. I love to listen how they get one passion and then they start, working towards that. So I really like that part of my business as well.
I know you do, and you're really good at that too. I feel like you really witness people, and that's what makes people feel very comfortable, right? Because listening is like such a valuable thing. I'm actually really honored to be Gale's exclusive makeup artist. So I get to work with Gale a lot, and it's always amazing. It's always amazing.
So you know what? Like some people, they don't want to spend money on the makeup portion of the photo shoot. But what happened is it's not just makeup, right? When you're getting makeup done, it's an experience.
Yes.
So you already start to relax. And then when people get their makeup done, I am around. So then we start building a rapport. Having a really good makeup makes people feel better most of the time, right? And you and I know that we don't want a makeup that will change someone and make them look completely different.
That's right.
The makeup, I like it when it's natural, especially for entrepreneurs, right? To keep themselves as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
But the makeup will reduce the blemishes and things like that. So that way, in terms of me giving them their picture back, I don't have to spend a lot of time retouching and fixing things. It's already done through makeup. The proper application. The makeup should be an experience, not so much as an expense. It should be an experience that puts you in the right mood and right frame of mind to have some amazing picture taken afterward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I sit down with a client to do makeup, it is about highlighting the beauty.
The beautiful things that are already there.
Exactly. I'm not there to change that person. I'm there to make them feel comfortable, highlight their natural beauty, and I'm with them from beginning to end.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful piece of self-care that a lot of people don't get all the time.
It's a piece of self-care. Some people say, I don't want to make up. and I always like suggest to them that it's a good idea to get makeup. I would like to have like makeup always applied by a professional all the time, and sometimes people are not open to that idea, but I know that some photographers insist on that, and then maybe eventually I'll do that. A lot of people that I meet are also really, really good at applying their own makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of really, really nice as well. So I let people do that, and so far I haven't had any problems. But some people say, yeah, I want Josie to do my makeup, and I'm more than happy to make sure that this happens. I think it's not just the makeup and the retouching part, but also the person sits down to relax, talk with you, and then the makeup is perfect, and then we do the photo shoot, and it kind of eased them. It kind of eased them in the photo shoot, because a lot of time, like, people come in a photo shoot and they're just a little bit nervous. They're really nervous, right? They worry about, oh, am I gonna like have that weird smile, or my teeth are not perfect, and oh, what if I don't know how to pose? But people need to know that they don't need to worry about anything.
That's
like
right.
When they come to a photo shoot, the makeup is applied, and they kind of get into the groove, right?
Yeah.
And then I help them with the posing. My way of posing too is like I try to go with what people will naturally do is what I will photograph.
Yes.
And if I see that there's something that doesn't really work well, then we just kind of move a bit and then click.
It's a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should have some form of photo shoot in their life.
Yeah.
You know, because it's wonderful to be in front of the camera. I mean, even though people are uncomfortable, it's good to push out of that comfort zone. And, you know, we get old. So it's kind of nice to have pictures throughout your life to look back on, because you see the most change in those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always ask people if they are willing to print their photos.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have a beautiful print in your home, something that you can remind yourself of what you are, what you are all about. You know, I really love these photos.
Thank you. Well, you gave them to me. We created the photos on my
Those
wall.
are award-winning photos.
I feel like if I could just fill a wall of like pictures that you've taken.
I think you
of
have
me.
a lot of pictures. You could actually do that now, because it's been so many years that we're shooting and we're doing different concepts.
Yeah.
So
I won't, because I have to stay on the ground.
This is what I start doing, because people trust me to do their photos, and then they give me authorization to use their photos. Some of the photos I use for self-promotion on my website. Mm-hmm. I love to put the people that I shoot on my website. They're beautiful. Yeah. But I also like when I see that a photo could be potentially good for the contest for the portrait master. I like to send them to the portrait master. But now what I start doing is that when we have an actual winning photo, I print them free of charge for the person who actually trusts me. Yeah. And then give them a print. So that way you have that one most beautiful print in your home. Yeah, it's a really wonderful gesture. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. So let's cheers again. Let's cheers to the future of more publications. And more concept. Yeah. Some crazy styling. Friendship and makeup and photography. And all the wonderful things that are. I want to say, congrats on starting your own YouTube channel. Oh, thank you. So I see you have tons more followers and people subscribing, so which is great. Yes. So people need to subscribe so they have a really nice, authentic conversation. Thank you. Then if you have any question, they should, make it a topic of conversation with you. Yeah, absolutely. And I look forward to having you on the channel again anyway. Okay. Next publication. Yes. Cheers. Cheers. I gotta drink it.
Thank you so much for watching my very first interview here on the channel. I'm so excited to bring you guys more interviews, so keep it locked, like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys next time. Always remember, always be kind. Mwah.